Aaron, 400 Premier League appearances, going up Brighton last week, and playing week in, week out for the club. You must be really happy on how things are going.
Yeah, like I said, it was always nice to hit like the 400 mark. I didn't actually know until I did an interview the week before. The guy mentioned it to me. So yeah, like I said it on the weekend. I don't really look back, but I will at one day. But now 400 is a massive achievement for myself. But yeah, to be playing, and like I said, more importantly, to get the win was massive for us at the weekend. We've been playing really well, and we got the result I think we deserved, and gives us a lot of confidence going into the next ones now.
You grew up in Leeds and you made your debut for Leeds at 16, becoming the youngest ever Premier League player. It
was crazy for me. Like I said, I came out of school and straight away I was pretty much around the first team, so I was really young still. And it just escalated so quickly. Like I said, I went on pre-season with the first team, did quite well, and all of a sudden I think it was the first or second game of the season possibly, and I was on the bench, and obviously I made debut at 16 years old, and no, it just went from there really. It was a special moment for me, obviously playing for my hometown.
And then you actually played at Turf Moor at 17-year-old. I don't know how much you did that day, you remember, for Leeds. You set up Gylfi Arnason as well for a goal.
I remember actually setting up the goal. I think he scored a header, I think.
Yeah.
But like I said, I remember coming to Turf. I don't remember that game that much, but like I said, I remember the game a little bit, but not too much, no.
And that summer, you then left Leeds to join Tottenham, moving to London at a very young age.
Leeds was in financial trouble, so there was pretty much everyone had to pretty much go. Anyone who was a talent or anyone on bigger wages, like some of the older players, was literally out of the club. Leeds were really struggling. At the time, I actually didn't want to leave. But yeah, going to Tottenham came up, and it was one of them. It was like they're buying all the top young players at the time, and like I said, it was. Now it's worked out. It was a great move for me.
And your first goal came about Birmingham City away. Many memories from that one?
I do remember that. Yeah, it was funny enough because we was talking about it just before. With a lot of the lads, they were saying it's coming. I'd been close a few of the weeks before, and I remember coming inside and hitting it with my left. It was a very special moment.
Many memorable moments at Spurs, I imagine, for yourself, but a last-minute equaliser at the Emirates against Arsenal, is that one of the standouts for you?
Yeah, it was definitely one, but like I said, it was always a great game against the Arsenal. Obviously, the big rivalries, and like I said, we was actually getting battered in that game, and 4-2 down at one point, and then always last-minute equaliser away from home against your biggest rivals is always very special.
And quite a special stat from your time at White Hart Lane, you scored 26 Premier League goals for Tottenham. You never actually lost a game in which you scored in.
Yeah, no, I should have scored more, shouldn't I? I remember people saying that if I scored, once we've scored, they say, oh, we've won now, we've won. So every time I scored earlier, I'd say, oh, don't worry, we've won. But it's a crazy little stat, but like I said, I probably should have scored a lot more.
And going on to the international front, 21 caps for England. You played 2 World Cups. Just how much of a proud sort of honour is that to do that for your country?
Nah, massive. Like I said, as a young boy, I was playing in like the England youth teams coming through, and you always one day want to represent your country. And like I said, I did that at such a young age, and obviously going to the World Cups was, like I said, it's one of probably the highlight of my career, especially the first one being so young, and the whole occasion, everything to go around it was very, very special.
You mentioned the first World Cup that you replaced David Beckham as a substitute in that World Cup. You've played alongside the likes of Luka Modric, Steven Gerrard, Gareth Bale, Harry Kane. Is there any sort of players that stand out above the best of the rest? Or
like I said, the ones you just mentioned, they're all, like I said, world class players. Wayne Rooney is another. But now I've played with so many. Like I said, the list is very long. But like I said, it's been a privilege to play with all of them. There's nothing better than playing with them type of players.
And then move to Everton came about originally on loan before joining on a permanent. Was it sort of a special moment to play at like a historic club and move on to a club like Everton at the time? Was it the right time for you?
It was, yeah. I went on loan previously so while I was still at Tottenham, and that went really well. And from the loan move, I pretty much knew that was the club I wanted to go to. And yeah, like I said, Martinez was a top manager. I loved working with him. It's a great football club, a great family club, very close-knit group. And yeah, now it's a good few years there.
And then the move to Burnley came about January 2018. You made your debut against Newcastle. Again, was it the right time for you and the right club for you to move on to?
Yeah, no, it was. Like I said, it's a bit similar. Like I said, as in like family club, every close-knit, close group. I felt like a bit out of favour at Everton, and I just wanted to be playing. And I remember coming down here, meeting the manager, and no, it was the right one. Like I said, I've enjoyed every moment since I've been here.
Your first goal for Burnley then came about September 2018 against Bournemouth 4-0.
Yeah.
Was that nice for you to get off the mark and get a goal for another club?
Yeah, it's always nice to score. Like I said, I've always been one. It doesn't matter to me who scores. I'm just more bothered about the team winning. I've always been like very unselfish player. I always care about the team winning. I think Yowie may have crossed it and I got in at the far post and steered it across on my left foot. And it was a massive result for that at the time. A really good performance.
And then you left the club in the summer of 2020, moved over to Turkey.
Yeah.
Bit of a different experience playing in a new country and a new life for you?
Yeah, it was. Like I said, I didn't want to leave at the time, but obviously it was well documented, there was the stuff going on. But actually worked out really good for me. I always said I wanted to play abroad, and I actually really enjoyed it. Different environment, different culture, different way of playing. And obviously at the time I'd come back from like a knee injury here at Burnley, I wasn't playing as much. And just to go out there and get a full season of football under my belt, amazing experience for me, one I really enjoyed. And
then you came back to the club, back for a second time?
Yeah, like I said, I remember coming back in the summer, like I said, I'd just had my little baby and we spoke to the family and decided obviously we wanted to be back in England. Obviously I spoke with the gaffer, came up just to train really, just stay fit. And pretty much that escalated really quickly and he was like, we want to do something. And I jumped at it, I couldn't wait. Obviously knowing the group, knowing how this club works and how it is, it was the perfect one. And like I said, then pretty much I was straight involved. Obviously then, like I said, making a second debut against Newcastle again.
And then Liverpool, a couple of weeks ago, your 400th Premier League appearance.
Yeah.
Also coming up against James Milner, who was in the side, I think, when you made your debut for Leeds as well.
There's probably not many players that have done it. I think they said 40, I was 40th maybe.
40th player to do it, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a big achievement. And obviously we've seen James and that, I think he's a good few ahead of me, to be fair to him, he's some pro. But now, like I said, James, we came through as young boys together at Leeds. I think he's a year older than me. But a great lad, top pro, and it was good to see him again. But like I said, massive to hit the 400 mark, and hopefully a lot more to still come.
What a finish from Lennon. He celebrated 400 Premier League games last week. Well, he celebrated with a goal today.